Hello everyone and welcome back to LewisNews, your #1 YouTube channel for all types of Spider-Man news. And in today's video, we have got some more Marvel Spider-Man 2 to cover. As you guys probably know, the State of Play happened yesterday and we got some more Marvel Spider-Man 2 reveals. So they did a little teaser, a little new look at some of the features in the gameplay for Marvel Spider-Man 2, including how big the city will be. We've also got more news on suits and suit combinations, and also the new combat system as well. So I want to run you through all of the information and get you caught up with everything that you need to know, very simplified in this video. But also I want to mention that we will also be getting Marvel Spider-Man 2 new exclusive gameplay and an interview with Brian Intihar, the Senior Creative Director, at 4 PM UK time, 8 AM PST. So make sure you are looking out for that. I'm going to be streaming over on my other channel, Lewis Films. If you aren't subscribed to Lewis Films, make sure you're subscribed, because we'll be streaming at 4 PM to be looking through the gameplay, to be talking about the game, and we're going to have some good conversations and debates over on that channel. But with that being said, let's get straight into the gameplay that we saw. So we start off with a few clips that we've seen from the story trailer, and we also get a good look at some of the Talon drones, which Brian Intihar will go on to narrate about later on in the video. So the first thing Brian Intihar goes on to talk about is the fact that we are going to be getting a map that has doubled in size since the first two games. So on the screen right now, you can see Manhattan on the left-hand side of your screen, and the East River separating Manhattan from Brooklyn and Queens. Now, obviously, Brooklyn and Queens, the full boroughs, obviously won't be in the game because that would be insane and would require so much power, probably beyond what the PS5 is capable of. But either way, the size of the Brooklyn and Queens sections of the map that we are going to be getting is going to be roughly double of what Manhattan is. So the map is going to be about double the size it was from the first game, which is absolutely insane when you consider how big the map actually was in the first game. Now, open world games have come a long way in the last 10 years. You think of GTA, you think of Red Dead Redemption, and those maps are absolutely huge, and this is nothing compared to those games. But you've got to think about Spider-Man as a whole. Spider-Man swinging through the city, he traverses fast, and the processing power to load the city at that speed would be absolutely ridiculous. So the very fact that we're getting a map that's doubled in size in the first place is absolutely insane. So we're going to be getting Queens and Brooklyn, and this is the actual size of the map that you can see. He then goes on to talk about how Peter and Miles will have new traversal abilities. Now, we saw these in the story trailer, and we also saw this in the gameplay footage that we got roughly around 6 months ago as well. We saw the web wings used by Miles Morales in the gameplay footage that we got for Marvel Spider-Man 2, and he goes on to talk about how the web wings will be very useful in Queens and Brooklyn, especially how the high-rise buildings won't be as prominent as they are in Manhattan. The web wings also look like it will make you quicker in traversing from one place to the next. As we do know, if you try to traverse from one end of the map to the other in the first game, it would take you quite a while. Now imagine going from the highest point in Queens all the way to the lowest point in Manhattan. Now that would take you a very long time, considering the map has doubled in size. So the web wings will help with those traversals, and it will also help you go faster as well by the looks of things. As we also know very obviously from the story trailer as well, we'll also be able to visit Midtown High and Brooklyn Vision's Academy, because those are the places that Peter obviously went to school as a teenager, and Miles currently studies as well. Also, I just want to say that Brooklyn Vision's Academy looks like it was ripped straight out of the comics. I really love the design for this school, as this is the first time we get a look at the school. We next get our first look at, in the open world, how you'll be able to switch between Miles and Peter simultaneously. Now, this is something that has been rumored, and just as the fans, we've been asking for years when we've known this game has been in development, the ability to be able to switch between Miles and Peter just in free roam, and I really like how this game incorporates it, and we get a good look at it here. So the first thing I just want to talk about is how quick the PS5 allows you to switch between them both. It is almost simultaneous, and you could literally be playing as Miles, and then the next second or two, you're playing as Peter. That is how quick the PS5 is, and we're very lucky to have a console that can do things at such speeds. The second thing that I want to talk about is the Spider app that was designed in Spider-Man Miles Morales is going to be available to do little side quests and side missions in this game as well. So if you guys remember from Spider-Man Miles Morales, Ganke and Miles designed an app where people could essentially request the help of Spider-Man, and this could be anything from crimes, it could be main story missions, it could actually be side quests as well, or it quite literally could just be someone wanting to meet Spider-Man because they're a big fan. Either way, this app was designed for people to get help from Spider-Man, and they are taking it to the next level in this game because not only can Miles answer calls with this app, Peter can as well. And some missions that you can access through the Spider app will not only allow you to do missions as Peter or Miles, but there are also some missions, as you can see on the screen right now, where it requires you to be both Peter and Miles going to the same mission, which means that most likely we will be able to play as both Peter and Miles working together in those missions, which is really awesome. Or you could just go as Miles, or you could just go as Peter. You basically have the option to do whichever one you want. The next thing that is very key when it comes to this game is that new story missions, whether it's side quests or whether it's mainline story missions for the main story, will actually rarely be associated with the little icon on the map, but rather visual cues will become present throughout the city to lead you to the next objective, to lead you to the next story mission. Now, I actually really love this because it makes the game feel more natural. It feels like things are happening in the world around you rather than you going and trying to seek out the next checkpoint to do the next story mission. Essentially, you could just be swinging around in free roam and things will just happen around you just as it does in the real Marvel universe, as it does to Spider-Man. Now, obviously, some things you will have to seek out. Like if Peter has to be somewhere at a certain time, you will have to get Peter to that place. But things like Mysterio's eye and Kraven's talons will just appear out of nowhere and will require you to engage in that story. Now, one key thing that I also want to say is that not all of these visual cues will lead you directly to the main story. In fact, some will add on to the main story and some will actually be side quests as well. Like Brian Intihar makes it very clear that some of the Kraven visual cues will lead you to gather more information about Kraven the Hunter himself, as Kraven is most likely going to be a long-term villain of the game. However, some of the visual cues, like the Mysterio one, will lead you to a direct boss battle at the end of that given story. Another one of these villains that will have a visual cue that will lead you directly into that story will be Wraith as well. As we know, Wraith, Yuri Watanabe, was a big character in the DLC for Marvel's Spider-Man, and she will go on to become Wraith in this game as well. Now, for those of you who are wondering, what if I can't find these visual cues because the map has doubled in size? What if I can't find the next mission? Well, luckily, both Peter and Miles will have these lenses in the game. Essentially, I assume if you press the left trigger, you'll be able to activate it. It's kind of like Eagle Vision, except what happens is you'll be able to see where in the city the next objective is. So you'll be able to see side quests, potentially new story missions as well. So if you can't actually find the visual cue for the next mission, I'm pretty sure you'll be able to just press a button. The lens will tell you where it is. But obviously, that is for people who can't find it. Either way, you know, the visual cues, it's natural. I like it. It makes the story and the game feel more fluid rather than you going to the missions. The missions are coming to you. And overall, I think it makes New York feel more alive in general. We also then get another good look at Spider-Man's new mechanical arms in combat. They actually do look really awesome, and I do really like the animations. I'm still a bit iffy on using them because I'm thinking, you know, if I'm playing as Spider-Man, I kind of just want to play as Spider-Man. But I'm pretty sure they probably will be optional. Either way, the combat looks really cool. Then also, we get something that I think is very interesting. We get a look at the map, and Brian Intihar is talking about how if you defeat enemy factions, it will feed into the district progress system. Essentially, that is, you know, getting unlockables and basically unlocking new gadgets and new stuff and new tech for both Spider-Man characters. Which, before we talk about the new enemy factions, because they were actually blurred out in this gameplay here, I just want to quickly talk about the gadgets. So you get some new gadgets, and it's basically the same system as before, where you'll have to get points by doing side quests and by doing unlockables to be able to unlock new gadgets. And we're going to get a variety of new gadgets compared to the first game. We saw some of them feature in the gameplay footage from about 6 months ago now. But anyway, you get the gist. It's going to be the same as it was in the first game, but there's going to be a lot more stuff to unlock. There's going to be a lot more skills. It's going to be the same as the first game, but with a lot more added on this time. But let's talk about some of the enemy factions, because they were actually blurred out when it came to showing them in this gameplay footage here. And the reason they blurred them out is probably because a bunch of them are going to be spoilers. But we can take a very good guess at what some of them will be. So as we can see, the one on the bottom with the talons, that is probably going to be Kraven's faction, or at least Kraven's people. And these are going to be spread out throughout the city. The little green mysterious eye icon is going to be Mysterio's faction of some kind. These are going to be Mysterio's people, and I think this one is very, very obvious. The pink spider, I have no idea, but if I was going to take a guess, I'd have to say this is going to be Wraith's faction, potentially. I'm not too sure about this one, but the color scheme of Wraith is pink and white and stuff, so the pink spider, potentially it's Wraith. Obviously, the Prowler mask is going to be Prowler's followers, and it's really cool that we're going to get some Prowler factions in this one as well. I'm really excited to see if Miles is going to interact with Prowler at all in this game. Either way, that's going to be really, really awesome. The blue spider icon, I'm not so sure what this is going to be. Maybe one of you guys can tell me in the comment section down below. And obviously, the photography icon is going to be city landmarks. Obviously, now that we have Brooklyn and Queens as well, we can get landmarks from Brooklyn and Queens, not just Midtown and Manhattan and everything as well. So that's going to be awesome. And then these orange crystals on the top, I am not so sure what these are, but maybe one of you guys can tell me in the comment section down below as well. But either way, these are the different factions that we've got and the different unlockables in these regions, and that's going to be really, really awesome. Now, let's get on to the main part, which is getting everyone excited, and that is the suits that we are going to be seeing in this game. So we are going to be getting absolutely everything when it comes to suits. We're going to get 65 different suits from the comics and from the films, and that is confirmed by Brian Intihar himself. So that is really, really awesome. Also, some of the suits will be original designs as well. So that's really, really cool. I'm really glad to hear. And obviously, I'm not going to name every suit that we can see in the trailer. You guys can just see them for yourself, and you can see which one you like the best. But I think the feature that caught my attention the most is the fact that you'll be able to customize the suit colors. Now, this is absolutely awesome. This is exactly what we wanted from this game, being able to customize your own suits. Now, it's not fully customizable, but it is getting there in the right direction. Definitely laying the groundwork for some game in the future like Marvel's Spider-Man 3, or potentially the next Miles Morales game, to delve more into this feature and basically make the suits fully customizable. Essentially, you'll get about 3 or 4 options per suit to change the color scheme for that specific suit. So the suit design will be exactly the same. However, the color scheme for the suit will be different. You can see on the screen right now, this is the Prowler suit from the first Miles Morales game. You'll get this suit in this game. However, you'll be able to change the color scheme and the design. The same can also be said for the original suit for Peter Parker. As you can see, we've got different color schemes. We've got the original red and blue. We've got the red and blue reversed. And we've also got red and black, paying homage to the original Spider-Man suit from the Steve Ditko era. So I imagine a lot of suits will be similar to this, being able to change the color scheme as you see fit. But apart from that, that is pretty much everything that we've got from this gameplay trailer, I guess you could call it. Reveal, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. Either way, we've got a bunch of new information, and it's absolutely awesome. Hopefully, you guys have enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to like on it, and also make sure to subscribe if you are new, because we are covering everything from this game. And also, 4 PM UK time today, we are going to be getting exclusive gameplay from Marvel's Spider-Man 2. So I'm going to be streaming over on Lewis Films, so you're not going to want to miss that when that does come out. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care, and peace.